What's happening, guys? Pack Lemming here with another Dark Souls 3 The Convergence mod. Today we'll be carrying on our class review, by looking at the Druid once again. He looks fairly druidy, if that's a thing, and we'll start with our 10 shitty fire bombs. Okay, so we are in, and we seem to have some kind of staff and dagger. We're looking pretty, I'm going to say green, but I am colourblind, so it could be brown. Let's see what we're working with. Estus Trick. Fire a small projectile at enemies that deals damage and drains HP for a short duration. Unusual for Dark Souls 3, being able to... either that means drain HP back, or it's just a damage over time effect, but I'm not sure. But it'd be cool if it was the first one. And then we can call Hound Rat. Summon a small poisonous rat as your minion that will attack your enemies. Interesting. Unsummoned using the green separation crystal. When the summon dies, it will not be resummonable until after the bonfire rest. Warp or death. Okay, summons are disabled for online play. It's our first summon. I imagine it'll work the same for our Necromancer when we look at him. We also have the Jade Dagger, which allows us to perform a shield splitter move. And the Verdant Bow, or Boff, depending on where you are in the world. And that seems to be magic focused in terms of its affinity with a life chant that boosts the strength of Druidism for a very short period of time and works while equipped in either hand, which is handy. We're obviously wearing the Druid set, and we are obviously receiving cost reduction for our spells. We have the Young Dragon Ring to increase magic damage, which makes sense given that our stuff is magic focused. And we are part of the Students of the Dragon Covenant, which gives us an increased maximum FP by 3%, which isn't, there's nothing to sniff at really if you're a mage. Life chant that boosts the strength of Druidism for a very short period of time and works while equipped in either hand, which is handy. Ooh. We're obviously wearing the Druid set, and we are obviously receiving cost reduction for our spells. We have the Young Dragon Ring to increase magic damage, which makes sense given that our stuff is magic focused. And we are part of the Students of the Dragon Covenant, which gives us an increased maximum FP by 3%, which isn't, there's nothing to sniff at really if you're a mage. Kind of need that. Okay, why don't we summon our Hound Rat and see how long he lasts? Ooh, very nice. Alright, so you can see just below our stamina bar, we now have what can only be described as I'm going to say a wrinkly pear, or some sort of maybe lore-related seed from a giant seed, that sounds right, which indicates that we have a summon, which is nice. So now all we have available to us is an Essence Strike. So this is our first mage that only really has one offensive spell, but we do have our Jade Dagger, and as well we have a Targeting Crystal, which we can use to tell our rat who to chew on first. Okay, I'm willing to accept this rat's probably stronger than I am at this point. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Let's have a look at this. It's kind of like Soul Arrow from the base game, which is good. Similar kind of cast time. And it is a drain of their health rather than ours. Let's send in the rat. Bonk. Where is our rat? There he is. He's just chilling. Okay. Let's check. That's a much bigger damage over time effect than our Pyromancer had, which is interesting. Alright. Target Crystal, that guy. Our rat ignored us and went for this guy. Whoa, he got stunned out of the air. Call me a pro. Fantastic. How's our rat's health? It's looking okay. It could be better, I think. Ow. Okay, I think the rat may die. So we may have to take on the Crystal Lizard on our own, but we should have him up for every boss attempt, so that's okay. Alright, let's see how we get on. Where's our rat, buddy? There he is, look. Should come up with a name for him if we ever do a run with this guy. Oh god. Okay, there goes the rat. But you can really feel the difference with the guys that have reduced FP cost for spells versus this guy who just has more FP. His spells do tend to hit harder, it seems, but the FP cost is where you really feel it. But man, that was fast. Okay, let's give our dagger a go against our friend over here. Let's see what he's up to. Okay, I'm happy with that. I don't know why I keep picking up these items. I'm never going to use them. After every run, we delete the character, so... Alright, the Estus Trick, and I say trick. I don't know what that guy's doing. Okay, let's allot the old Estus, and let's have a go at our first run. Now, we're not going to summon the rat until we get into the boss room, because I'm pretty sure this motherfucker will get stuck on the outside, which would be just all of our luck, really. I will say that the druid does seem to have more HP to begin with, which is good. Okay, the rat is in the house. Let's distract Big Boy. Alright, this may be our quickest run, I will say. Especially if he does dumb shit like that. Half health for the rat. Most of his health. That's the rat dead. Okay. Need to wait for our FP to come back, but that's okay. This might be one of those classes that you do want to keep some Ashen Estus for. But at the same time, we did do that hitless. So, Druid seems strong AF. Hello again. Yes, we are looking at the Holy Cleric after our Druid, which I think was probably our fastest boss beat. The Geomancer was obviously very quick, but it wasn't very magic focused. So from a mage perspective, the Druid performed pretty well. So let's now have a look at a Glaive wielding Holy Cleric and see what this guy's all about. Must have those 10 firebombs. Okay, we're in the cemetery, we're wearing a cape, kinda. And we are carrying some pretty cool looking stuff. Let's have a look and see what we're working with here. The first one is Force, which is something we should be familiar with from Dark Souls 3 base game. Just creates a shockwave. Nice and simple. Ooh, too far. Holy Arrow is the next one. Create or fire a divine arrow. That seems pretty cool. The Glaive of Antiquity. Skill, Divine Rally, plant the handle of the weapon into the ground to create a consecrated area around you, increasing defense and healing you and nearby allies. Now, if it's a Dark Souls 3 heal, that'll probably be 1 per second, but this is a mod, so it may be more substantial than that. We'll soon see. We also have the Cleric's Sacred Chime. Oh, that is, I was going to say obviously magic related, but no, it's not. It's physical affinity. With Gentle Prayer, recover HP for a period of time, albeit extremely slowly. Works while equipped in either hand. Interesting. Equipped isn't a word, so don't quote me on that one. Okay, so we will be using miracles, and all of our Old God set will be reducing the consumption of FP, as we've seen before, with a ring of manipulation that increases our physical damage by 5%, which makes sense. These are physical miracles, I believe. And our Covenant allows us to reduce our FP consumption even further, which seems good. Let's see how it performs. We know If it's an arrow, it's long range. 2 shots, bad guys. We also know that force is relatively short range, so we should probably only use that if we're inside of a guy. But let's continue on anyway. I like how it looks, I will say that. Okay, let's try out the damage on this. Okay, we may have a similar story that we had with the Geomancer, which is to say the weapon is probably better for us than the magic. We'll soon see. 2 hands seem strong. Let's bait this guy over. Oh, okay, so force doesn't deal any damage, but it does stun, which is very nice. Large time out from that guy. Wow. How the game. I heard a brap. We're getting attacked. We are. Oops. It's not what I wanted. Alright, one-handed attacks then. Alright. So if you are more of a Glaive user in the base game, this one might be for you actually. It feels pretty smooth. Ow. Oh, come on now. Apparently I pressed that. Let's heal up before we die to this guy. We might have a better chance of stunning this guy with this Holy Cleric. Owith! But the greed did actually get the better of us once again. Unlucky. Okay, second attempt on the crystal guy. I think we're just going to maybe just try to beat this one up rather than magic it up. Because our magic seems really long range, apart from the shockwave. And that's okay. Ow! There's the stun. Normally I'd take advantage of that, but he was one shot. Lovely. Let's have a look at the healing. That is respectable. That's not bad. I appreciate that. So that also increases our defense, don't forget, which is pretty good. This guy's alive because I didn't kill him once I ran through. Fantastic. Good. Holy Cleric. Who'd have thought? So what I found is you can just sprint and attack him that way. Let's check. That was intentional damage, obviously. Let's check our Chime healing. That was a lot of FP. For what I believe is kind of 5 healing per second. That's actually not that bad, but nowhere near as good as the healing from our weapon, which seems to be a larger amount by far. Okay, first bonfire. We're here once again, and we are going to confirm our Estus allotment, which sounds a lot like I'm, you know, farming them. All right, let's run through these guys. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, go. Okay, here he comes. Attempt number 1. Responding pretty well to physical damage over elemental damage, which is interesting. Mistakes? No, we're fine. What Watch out for the cone. You're a bit close there, buddy. Okay. Fine. That hit me. Okay, definitely not as quick as the Druid, but it definitely did as much damage. Because the boss has the same amount of health. Who knew? It was a little bit quick, I will say that. Definitely not as fast as the Druid. But the physical damage definitely seems to do a lot more for us than elemental damage. So that's something to consider for this mod, it seems, which is interesting.